Hello, friends. It's good to be here again. Ah. Alright. I gotta go to work in like 20, 30 minutes, and I'm not looking forward to it. And I wanted to be motivated about it, you know. It sucks having to do shit that you don't want to do, but who is that's talking? That's Nick. That's the ego, right? And only the ego. Here's a good quote to start this off. I never saw a wild thing sorry for itself. A bird will fall frozen dead from a bough without ever having felt sorry for itself. Alright? That's a pretty good one. Think about that. Take that to the bank. So, yeah. This is about, like, staying motivated. Not just staying motivated, but, like, you don't. Sometimes, like, our emotions are, like, up to the winds in, like, the astrology of the day, or, you know, we just have a little bit less of a willpower than we normally would, and we attribute it to, I don't know what we attribute it to. We just say, oh, I feel tired, I don't feel like it today, I don't want to do that. But some shit we have to do, right? Like work, because we're slaves. And so I want to take this time, short time, hopefully less than 15 minutes, to give some tips of my personal tips that I've learned through my experience in life and through other teachers as to how to create a situation in which it doesn't suck, right? So our intention. When we're going to go do something, complete a particular circuit, like go to work, go to a meeting, go do any particular thing that's structured where it's not free form, we can consider this sort of like a program, sort of like exactly like a program. And or we could consider it a timeline. There's many different timelines we can take, and there's many different paths that we can go on. And a lot of times we just go at random and don't realize which path we're going to take. But here's another one of these secrets, another one of these keys. Our intention. A lot of time, whatever path we end up taking is because we haven't set our intention. And then our actions and our experience fall under the will of all these other people's intentions and desires and willpowers, and then we end up having a less than joyous experience. So before you go and do something, really anything, you should try and set your intentions up, like every time you have a sip of water or something, because water can retain memory, but that's off the main topic. Intention modifies future probability. It gives us the ability to really, really narrow out which timeline we're going to go down when we are about to do something. And people be like, oh, so you're just saying all you got to do is think about it and you can change the future. Well, yes. Some things are more concrete than others. Like 9/11 was pretty concrete. You know, the invasion of Poland by Germany was pretty concrete. A lot of stuff is really concrete. But a lot of stuff that's not very concrete, like how you're feeling some type of way on some day, or, you know, whether people are going to be nice to you that day or not, that stuff isn't very concrete, and you can really modify or change the future probability of how that stuff will play out simply by focusing on it, having an intention. You got to focus your mind. We've been endowed with this, like a lot of people think that consciousness just kind of sporadically arose from chemical interactions in the brain, but this isn't true. the brain arose from consciousness, which is difficult to get your mind around, but it's the only logical explanation in my eyes, and I think anybody who's really looked into it would come to the same conclusion. But within our consciousness, we've got this incredible thing called the imagination. The imagination. And this imagination, when you really start to master it, I'm telling you, it can build universes. You know, we were made in the image of God, and God is a creator, and God created this universe. At some point in time, past, present, or future, we have, will, and are creating universes just by thinking about them. So you can take this into your intention practice as well. You can, God, I hope the sound quality's all right. I didn't do a check, but usually it's kind of shitty. So, but here's what you got to do before you're about to go do something. You got to set an intention, and you got to kind of be specific about it. You can't just say, I'm just gonna be nice to everybody, because it's like abracadabra. I speak as I create. And so if you like say something and you just kind of like feebly say it and you don't think about it again, it just kind of goes out and it dissipates into the air. You need to sit down for, take 1 minute, just 1 minute out of your time to sit down, think about you, think about your mental state, what you're about to go do. So in my case, I'm about to go work at a restaurant. Think about the restaurant. Think about the people there at the restaurant. Think about seeing them and seeing them happy. Send this happiness to them with your mind right now. Imagine you having a joyous interaction. Imagine that the day is going to go swimmingly, that there's not going to be any big hiccups, there's not going to be any crazy nonsense that you got to deal with. And if any of that stuff does arise, it will be dealt with in a calm, collected, and efficient manner. And it won't be a serious hiccup. Sit on that intention to do good and to radiate happiness, joy, and love. Put this into the field that surrounds your body so that you can carry it with you. And you're imagining all this, and this is your imagination and your intention. They work hand in hand. And it's good to say things out loud too. Like, I'm saying things out loud now too, but let's just imagine you at home are not thinking out loud. So let's just say you think out loud. Say, I intend to radiate goodness. I intend to make sure this individual is not mad at me at all that night, because say they've been getting mad at you occasionally. I intend to bring happiness everywhere I go. Just think about it, see it in your head, visualize it. That's a future probable potential reality. There are, I can see 10 different realities at work that I could go into, and it would be less than what I had intended. But single one out, pull it close to you, relate to it, interact with it in your mind, and make it a part of your consciousness as you walk into that, as you actually create that reality as you walk into it. And with any luck, this little mental practice right here, because the universe is 90% mental, 99% mental, or if you ask the Hermeticists, all is mental. What I'm envisioning and what I'm feeling will come true to reality. Yeah, intent modifies future probability. Our imagination is a wonderful tool. Like I was saying, our consciousnesses did not just randomly arrive into our brain. Our brain arose from our consciousness, and with it came many strange things like abstract thinking and intuition and imagination. And these things are vastly misunderstood in our common culture. So I'm just trying to give you a way to use these tools that are so much more incredible than people generally realize them to be. When it comes down to us creating reality, our imagination is, a tool set in general. We need some sort of tool set mentally to be able to really warp what we want to create. Right? Tool set. You need a tool set to put yourself through the arduous mental task of actually building something up. So if you gotta imagine yourself with hammers and nails and you're actually building some shit in your mind, or you just want to imagine darkness and light and you're removing the darkness from a situation and storing all the darkness over here, and you gotta go in through some darkness converter that converts dark to light, and then you pull the lightness out and then you refashion the reality with lightness so there's nothing but love and joy and peace all around you wherever you go. It doesn't matter what the rule set, what the tool set is. You just need to, have something, anything. Use your imagination. Like, it could be fun. It could be fun just closing your eyes and you're nowhere. Yeah. So I think that's it. You gotta use your imagination and you gotta make things, you don't have to sulk around upset and angry all the time. Just take a couple minutes out of your day, a couple minutes out of your time before you go in somewhere. See yourself acting the way you want to act, and then begin to act that way and begin to fulfill the, like, you're able to create prophecy. You're a self-fulfilling prophet, right? That's all there is to it. So, yeah. Stay motivated. Stay hydrated. Don't let the haters get to you. All that shit. Get in tune with yourself. Get in tune with your future creating. You can create the future. You can create the present. And get in tune with those abilities, and it becomes a little bit easier. I'm not saying it gets harder, or I'm not saying it gets way easier, because you're always being presented with situations that demand something of you. But you gotta be prepared and in the right mind state to make the best out of every situation that's presented to you. So with that, I hope that helps somebody. If it doesn't help anybody, don't hate, just appreciate, do your thing, and keep it real. Stay true to yourself. One love, everybody. Take it easy. Hey, yo, little encore here. Ooh. On top of creating your reality, like using your imagination to create your reality, I think the more you try to practice that by however means that you do, whether you're writing it down or you're drawing it out, or you wake up in the morning and you sit up and you plan it all out, or however you want to do that, I think that the more that you do that, in my experience, the more you realize how really connected you are with the people around you, because you start to see people, they say shit that you're thinking, and it happens so frequently for me. It just blows my mind sometimes, and I don't even know how to react to it. And I suppose the best way to react to it really is just by being myself, because everybody really is a reflection of you. Oh, that's my mom. Hey! She's walking her dog. I just stuck my finger in some lemonade. Anyways, yeah, you'll start to see how people are connected to you mentally and emotionally, and it's just a crazy experience. Life really is this massive interconnected web of thoughts and feelings and emotions and intentions, and you start to get more in tune with that with yourself, and start to put those mechanisms into play in your own life, And it's not like that, like I'm telling you, by no means do you have to do it this way or my way, but I'm saying, like, experiment with your beliefs and experiment with your feelings and experiment with all this shit that you have total control of, which is your inner being. And there's no reason that, I don't think there's any reason that you shouldn't do it, because we got all the time in the fucking world. And truly, you will see that people are, they're receptive to it, and if they won't realize it, and there's no way that you can go up to them and be like, I mean, you do it all the time, you're like, I was just thinking that, man, or I was just thinking about you, and people call you up and shit like that. But it's the truth. You start to build it in your mind, and you'll start to see it come into manifestation and come into fruition. So it's just super important just to give it a shot, give it a try. Intention modifies future probability. There's a web of intention that connects us all, and every time you make one, it's like it's like sitting on a trampoline and you go a little lower, and then stuff starts to start to move around you, and you start to see how kind of the world, reality, it does revolve around you. In very many ways, universe it's a you. The universe starts with you, all right? That's how I'm going to end it. Take it easy, y'all.